Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Land Matters. My name is Abigail Mbagaya Mukolwe. I'm a land and land governance expert practicing in Kenya. In today's episode, I would like to talk about transacting in freehold land. How do you transact in freehold land? You will recall from my past videos, I had talked about the different categories of land. Freehold land is one of the categories of land that we have in this country. And most of the titles that we have in our rural areas are freehold titles. So how do you deal in this land? How do you transact in it? How can you come to own part of it? Now, you will also recall in a past episode of mine, I did talk about due diligence. Ladies and gentlemen, when dealing in any category of land, the place of due diligence cannot be overstated. Dealing in any category of land will require you to carry out proper due diligence so that you will not cry later, so that you will not buy air, so that you will not create another dispute from not having done your part properly. So why is due diligence very important when dealing in freehold land? It is important because, first and foremost, it will help you to confirm that the land you're dealing in actually exists. Secondly, it will help you to confirm that whoever you're dealing with in that land is the registered owner of that property and they are authorized to transact in that land. You know, I've seen cases whereby some people have gone to a place and they buy freehold land. Wanauziwa mashamba kienyeji. Mtu anampimia mashamba na miguu. Somebody has no title. When you ask him, are you the owner of this land? Anasema ati, oh, baba yangu alikuwa mtoto wa the original owner wa hii title. And then people proceed and still buy that title by dealing in land kienyeji. And that is where some of these problems, some of the disputes that we are seeing in land come from. So do your due diligence properly. Confirm that the person you are dealing with in that land is a registered owner or is authorized to deal in that land. In some cases I have seen whereby we have some titles, freehold titles, they do not correspond to any area of land on the face of the earth. I normally call them flying titles. They're just looking for where they can fall. So if you're not careful, that flying title will land in your hands and you will pay for it. And at the end of the day, when you try to look for the land that it corresponds to, there is no land. So you must be very careful. When you get the title, buy the maps of the area and find out if that title, that LR number is actually reflected. If the maps are there, buy the mutations to confirm that the title that you're dealing in actually exists on the ground. Thirdly, doing your due diligence will also be able to help you determine if that is matrimonial property. In this country, matrimonial consent is mandatory when dealing in any category of land. So even if it's a freehold title, do your due diligence and find out if the man has a wife or if the woman has a husband, because their consent is mandatory when dealing in this category of land. And also, due diligence will help you know the land that you're buying. If you're not careful, I said it before, you'll be shown beautiful pictures on Facebook. The land is looking so beautiful on Facebook. On WhatsApp, the land is beautiful. So if you're not careful, you will just think that the land you've been shown is what is on the ground. Go and visit the ground and find out if that land is as beautiful as it looks like. If you're not careful, you end up buying a rocky patch or a quarry that has been mined and is full of water and mosquitoes for that matter. So take care. Do your due diligence. Visit the land. There is no replacement for due diligence when you're dealing in freehold land. And for that matter, I repeat, there is no replacement for due diligence when you're dealing with freehold land or any other land for that matter. Now, let us say that now you're looking for a piece of land. You have been able to identify a particular piece of land. Freehold that has a freehold title, what do? You will approach the owner like I had said earlier. Then you'll begin your process of due diligence. He will take you to the ground. Thereafter, you'll ask him to give you a copy of the title. You will require the copy of the title when you're going to carry out the official search to confirm who the registered owner of the title is. So once you have met him, he has taken you to the ground, he has shown you the land, then he has given you a copy of the title. You will take that title. You will then go to the county registrar nearest to you, or where that property, where the search can be carried from, the registry nearest to you. You will apply for a search of that property. You will be given an official search from the land registry, confirming who the registered owner of that property is according to their records. Once that has been done and you have confirmed, do you run and go and pay money quickly that you've seen land? No. Go a step further now. Go and buy the maps. Apply for the mutations. Do some due diligence. Try and read the map and see if it translates to what you are shown. And if you don't know how to read the map, please get a professional to help you. Get a surveyor, get a land expert to help you read the map, to translate the map to see if that property really does exist on the ground. If you have done that, you will now go and visit the property on your own. Like I said last time, you will go alone now without that person. Talk to the neighbors. Find out, is this land for sale? Who does it belong to? You know, like I said, normally when you do this second visit on your own without the person who took you or the owner, people will tell you stories. Wachana na hawa wanapigana, hawa wanauana, hii shamba ilikuwa ya ndugu yake, hata succession haijafanywa, tunasikia hiyo title si mzuri. You will get any extra information that the land registry will not give you. But if you've done that and you are satisfied that surely that land does exist, then you will move to the next step and request the owner to give you a sale agreement. But remember, I said when you're dealing in the freehold land, there are some things that must be done. The seller of the property must apply to the Land Control Board to obtain the consent to transfer. The consent of the Land Control Board is mandatory when dealing with freehold titles. So the person who is selling the land will fill out the form. There's a specific form that is filled. He will then pay the requisite fee to the government and submit it to the Land Control Board nearest to him. In this country, we have land control boards in all the 47 counties, and they are chaired by the county commissioners. But what has happened is that the county commissioners has delegated to deputy county commissioners in the sub-counties. So again, we do have now land control boards at the sub-county chaired by the deputy county commissioner. So the seller of the land will apply to the board, the Land Control Board, seeking consent to transfer that property to the new buyer or to the new owner. Thereafter, he will be given a date when he will appear before the board, and then consent will be given. It is also at this board where matrimonial consent is given. Because when you appear before the board, the seller of the property will appear himself with or herself with the spouse. And then the board will call out the registered owner of the property, ask him, are you selling the land? Yes. Wapi mama? Then the lady will stand up and say, I'm here. Have you consented the property being sold? She will say yes, or she'll say no. If she says yes and there are no issues, then matrimonial consent will also be given at that point together with the Land Control Board consent. These two consents are mandatory. I know of a case where some man appeared before the board with a lady, with the ID of the wife, and consent was obtained, and he went ahead and sold the property. The buyer, after buying the property, goes to the ground and is trying to enter the land, and he finds another lady there. Anasema, habari mama, mzuri. Tumenunua shamba. Mama anauliza, mmenunua shamba gani? Anasema, si tulinunua hii shamba kutoka mzee. Mama anasema, mmenunua siku gani? Hii ni boma yangu. And then the seller asks, na wewe ni nani? Then mama anasema, mimi ni bibi yake. And the buyer says, oh, sio wewe tuliona. You see? So he's at a loss here. Make sure that you do your due diligence on matters of the Land Control Board consent must be there. Matrimonial consent should be there if the property is matrimonial property. So once you've obtained the consent of the Land Control Board, and you have this matrimonial consent because you are dealing in matrimonial property, you will then move and forward these documents to the county land registrar, who will then look at those documents to ensure that you have provided all the documents necessary that will cause her to transfer the property to the new owner. You normally provide the consent of the Land Control Board. The matrimonial consent will also be there. You will also submit the old title. The old title. The title must be surrendered. The original title is surrendered to the land registrar together with the consent to transfer. Once all these things have been received, the registrar normally has a list, her checklist. She will confirm and see that it is in order. She will then cause the property to be valued to determine the amount of stamp duty that is payable. If it is agricultural property, you will pay 2% as stamp duty. If it is a commercial property, you will pay 4% of the value of the property as stamp duty. Once the stamp duty has been paid, the registrar will cause the property to be registered and transferred to you. And then a new title will be issued in your name, and you will be the new owner of the property. Ladies and gentlemen, let us follow the law when dealing in property. Let us make sure we follow all the steps. Let us make sure that we do our due diligence. This will save us a lot of unnecessary frictions and a lot of disputes on land. It will also cause us to own the land seamlessly. Thirdly, it will ensure that we have the right documentation. So ladies and gentlemen, just remember that when you're dealing in any category of land, following the law is important. Due diligence is very important. And if you're not able to do it yourself, please engage the services of a professional. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching me. If this is your first time, please hit the subscribe button. Next time, we will be talking about issues to do with the compulsory acquisition. So thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye.